did a 365, and what the 365 is when you give the master prophet the opportunity to walk you out for a 365 days. You'll be able to know what's going on in your year, your month, and your week. And there are special business days that take place. And I heard the master prophet say on the CD, in the month of September the 29th, you are going to hear, in other words, my mother is going to call me, and you would care to listen. Well, there was some issues growing up with my mother. I just didn't listen. I didn't listen. And so Master Prophet said on that CD, you would care to listen. In other words, you need to get some information about yourself that you've been waiting for. And she called me the same day of her birthday, which was September the 29th. September the 29th was the exact date that Master Prophet gave me on the CD, and there was only one person in this world whose birthday that I knew. The relationship between me and my mother, there were a lot of issues, in my preteens. I just didn't listen, and there were a lot of things that were going on that mother wasn't pleased with. And so instead of, backlashing with her, I would ignore her. So when she was talking to me, I would just fade out on her. And so this particular CD said, you wouldn't care to listen, but you need to listen. What took place on that day is my mother called me, and she told me some things that I needed to know, not only about my life, but she shared some things with me. And in the process, I began to go back in my thought. And I remember my mother said, I have a tumor on the brain. If I hadn't sold that 365, it would have been a conversation that my mother would have dialed me, and she'd have been just talking, and I would not have been listening. But because of that 365, I tuned in to listen in consciousness what my mom was saying to me. My mom was very ill, and they were finding her falling out on the streets. And so in the process, when they went in to do the surgery, I was able to tell my brother, my mom had, while the doctor has her brain, has her open, as he's doing the surgery, that there's a tumor. And when they went in, they found the tumor, and they were able to correct what was going on in her life. And that is the power of prophecy.